Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to What Does He Know About Wrestling? I had to restart the stream due to technical difficulties, me not knowing what the fuck I'm doing. But yeah, let's discuss the 2025 Royal Rumble PLE. I kind of started with the Women's Royal Rumble. I felt like it was lackluster. It was lackluster to say. I feel like everything that I expect. Well, I could say for the men and women, everything that I expected from both rumbles, I did not get. I did not expect. And even it wasn't even things that I wanted. A lot of the things that I wanted, I didn't really. Actually, some of the things that I wanted to happen, like Nia being dominant. Um, EO was doing her thing until that elimination. I don't even know. I wouldn't. But I'm pulling up the entry list. Um, okay, so for the women's, I know first was Io Sky. Now Io Sky was the one that I picked to be the Iron Survivor, just because Io has been so dominant. Io has been killing it. Um, so yeah, I saw her being the Iron Survivor. But whatever. I'm not mad that she didn't really do much in the Rumble. Like I said, like the Royal Rumble over the years, the last couple of years has been very spot. Get your shit off. Get your shit off. No, I mean, not every Royal Rumble should be like that. It should just be trying to eliminate your opponent. And I feel like that is why people might not have liked the men and women's Royal Rumble, because last night was very focused on getting people out of the ring. Now you did see a spot here, a couple people getting their stuff in, but it wasn't. Mm, it wasn't as much, I should say. Um. Oh, okay. So EO was number one. Liv Morgan was number two. Roxanne number three. Laura. Okay, so the IC Women's Champion. You mean to tell me you put the title, and I feel like they only made this title because SmackDown has the United States Championship, so they're like, okay, well, let's give Raw something. And they gave Raw the Intercontinental Champion, and they gave Lara the IC title, and has done jack shit squat with it. She has done nothing with this. And then she she comes out, and I think she was the first one eliminated. I believe. I think Lara was the first one eliminated. I might be wrong. No, I think BFAB was either BFAB or Lara. But either way, she was only in the match for 16 minutes. Um, I think Liv beat EO by like less than 20 seconds of being an Iron Survivor. But actually, Roxanne Perez was the Iron Survivor, which I didn't expect that. I expected her making an appearance because, and I like what I did like about the Women's Royal Rumble. There was a lot of the NXT now, like the last couple of years. You expect NXT to make an appearance, and we saw Roxanne. We saw Jada Parker, and Stephanie Valkyr. Oh, and Julia. I don't the women's champion. I don't know her. So that was like what 4 NXT women in the Royal Rumble. I don't think we got any from the men's. But yeah, Lara was in there, and then right after, the United States champion Chelsea Green makes her way out. B-Fab, Ivy Now, Joey Stark, Lash. Oh, I missed Lash Legend. Um, she made an appearance to the Rumble. Actually, I think she did pretty good. The stuff that they did with Lash, Bianca, Naomi. I feel like that was a that was a good exchange between all of them. You got Bianca after Lash, Shayna Baszler, Bailey, Sonya Deville, Maxine Dupree, who Maxine got her stuff off. That was one of the ones where she just got her stuff off. She went out there, was hitting suplexes. She was doing her thing. Then Naomi came out. Jada Parker. First time, I believe this is her first Rumble. Because she wasn't making head waves like that before. So I think this was her first Royal Rumble appearance, which she did good. Piper Niven came out. Then it was Natalya. Then Jordynne Grace makes her official WWE debut. Last year she made an appearance in the Rumble as TNA Knockouts champion, but this time she entered the Rumble as an official member of the WWE roster. Congratulations to her. She did great. She did great in the Rumble. Only thing that I had an issue with was not necessarily an issue, but they just redid the spot of Naomi and Jordan from last year when they finally cross paths and they look at each other and then they say a few things and then they hug each other. But I will say though, this time when Bianca was like, hold on. What you my tag team partner. Help me get all these people out. Bianca was like, yeah. I did like that. Michin came out, and then at number 21 was the return of Alexa Bliss. Now there was a lot of reports of her not signing, her in WWE, butting heads over contract rumors and all this other bullshit. But she made an appearance. She got a huge pop. I think she might have got the biggest pop of the night, which I thought was great. That return was great in itself. I don't think she really did anything memorable in the Rumble, but it's a Rumble. I really don't care if, especially if you don't win. I don't it's not a big deal. It's not a make or break if you do good or bad in the Rumble. Zelina Vega came out 22, Candice LeRae 23, 24 was Stephanie Valkyr making her Rumble debut. And at 25, now I call this now, when the mid-card titles came out a few months ago, I would jokingly say, give it to Trish. Bring Trish back. Give her some titles she ain't never held. Because the way I look at it, I think Trish is a lot of people's GOATs, but she's not on my GOAT radar only because of she didn't have the rosters that we have now. She doesn't have the women division that we see on Raw and SmackDown today, or even in NXT. Hell, she didn't even get the WWE roster from when the Women's Revolution started. She didn't get to face any of those guys. She didn't have a feud. She didn't have a title reign with any of these women. It is, so it's now I'm not saying she was just facing scrubs. She was in the ring with Victoria and Jazz and Molly Holly. But for the longest it was just her and Lita just back and forth. It wasn't they was actually giving Victoria and Molly and them time. Jazz was dominant for a short time, and then that amounted to nothing. So I feel like I kept saying, like, jokingly but seriously, put the mid card title on Trish and let her see. Like, even at her age though, I feel like when she came back, some of her matches weren't as good, but at the same time, she could go. So it wasn't like she was just putting on bad matches because she couldn't wrestle. It was just because, you know, matches just didn't click. But yeah, she returned at number 25. I actually called it like every time, like every prediction. Anytime anybody talked about who was gonna make an appearance, I kept saying Trish. Trish. It was either gonna be Trish or Lita, and glad it was Trish because I don't care for Lita. 26 was Raquel Rodriguez. 27 was the in-ring return. Now it wasn't a surprise because they have been announcing this for a while, but Charlotte Flair returned. Julia, number 28, made her Royal Rumble debut. Nia Jackson. Okay, so the last two. So when Charlotte came out, there were 3 entries left: 28, 29, and 30. So the whole time, I'm saying all these names. I'm saying these names like, okay, Becky's gonna be next. Oh, Becky Jade, yeah, okay. Who else could it be? I don't know who the third person could be because I was locked. I was deadlocked on Becky and Jade. Now I'm not 100% sure. I can't tell you like off bat if I seen any reports or anything about Jade being clear, but there have been a lot of reports that Becky has resigned and her return keep getting pushed and stuff like that. So I felt like the Rumble would have been a good return for the both of these women. 28 was the Royal Rumble debut of Julia, which I'm not mad at, NXT World Champion. But at number 29, somebody who I forgot this whole Rumble was Nia Jackson. It wasn't because I just didn't think, like, I just forget about Nia Jackson. It's just all these women was coming back and forth. And I kept thinking, like, who is left from the women's division that is healthy, that is, like, able to compete? And like Nia just slipped my mind, but yeah, she entered at number 29. There was that mess of a elimination spot where everybody got eliminated. Io was like barely holding on, and she just said "fuck it" and just fell. I think somebody, I can't remember who, but somebody was like pulling Bianca's hair, something. But like, yeah, that spot was not good. And then at number 30, I said if Nia's number 29, it gotta be Becky because Jade not coming. If I was WWE, I would want. I would put Becky over Jade. No slate to Jade, but it's WWE. You gonna put the bigger names. But instead, and now this is where I think it was a waste of spot. Number 30 was Nikki Bella, and I think it was a waste of a spot that could have been a return of like a Becky Lynch or a Jade if she was healthy, or anybody else on NXT, whatever. Because Nikki Bella got a huge pop. Don't get me wrong. She's a reality star, former Divas champion. But she was only in the match for 3 minutes. Waste of a spot. I think that might have been the shortest time. Oh no, Maxine Dupree got eliminated in a minute. She got a lot of stuff off in that minute though. But okay, so Nikki Bella was the second shortest time with 3 minutes and 4 seconds. Now I get it, she was the last, so she wasn't gonna be in there for a long time, but that was a waste of a spot. Especially with Nia coming in at number 29 and was in for 8 minutes. Julia came in at number 28 and was in for 10 minutes. Charlotte came in at 27, which she won the match and was in for 15 minutes. Now, I'm not upset that Charlotte won, because if you really look at this, my pick was either gonna be Io or Bianca because I'm huge fans of them and I want them to succeed. Especially Bianca because she hasn't been in the main event spotlight in quite a while. But this wasn't a shocker. This wasn't like, oh my gosh, Charlotte Flair won. It was, we knew it was gonna happen. Just we just didn't know how the eliminations was gonna be, and I just feel like this women's rumble was poorly executed. Do I care that Charlotte won? No, I'm not a fan of Charlotte. I don't. She's nepo baby, but I'm not gonna get deep into that. I just want to do the Rumble review and give my thoughts on what I thought about yesterday's event. So the next match after the Women's Royal Rumble, what's up, Deontay? The next match after the Women's Royal Rumble was the 2 out of 3 falls match between Motor City Machine Guns and DIY. Did I have high hopes for this match? Yes, because you got DIY, who's been proven to be one of the best tag teams since their NXT days. And then you have, in my opinion, the greatest tag team of all time, the Motor City Machine Guns. This is my favorite tag team of all time, and they have proven to be GOATs by having tag team success and even single success, and having both while a tag team champions, singles champions at the same time. But this match did not deliver for me. There were a lot of times where things would just happen, and like either I didn't care, I missed it, and then when they showed the replay, I was like, oh, that was it. Like, I didn't even know that DIY had the first pinfall. Like, I missed that completely. I did not see it. I did not know. So when Motor City Machine Guns got their pinfall, which that tag team move needs to go. I hate that tag finisher. It's one of Motor City Machine Gun's weakest moves, and they use that as a finisher. I hate it. But when they got the pinfall with that tag finisher, I thought that was the first fall. So then when DIY got the third fall, I was confused. I was like, the match is over. This was only the second match, but the match did not matter. The match did not matter at all. The biggest news is Street Profits is back in business. They attacked Motor City Machine Guns, causing them to lose the match. DIY retains, and now I was kind of confused on like, why do you care that DIY is still champion? They were like, we don't really care. We finna attack y'all too. So they attacked DIY, and I'm glad that the Profits are back. Put the tag team titles on them. They have been proven to be the best tag team that WWE has to offer for like the last 5 years. Put the Rocket back on their backs. Next match was the World Heavyweight title. Not the World Heavyweight title, the WWE Undisputed World Heavyweight Championship, whatever. The name needs to get cut. Kevin Owens versus Cody Rhodes. The thing is, okay, so for this Rumble, I think none of the matches, the non-Rumble matches, I did not have hype for. I didn't care for. I didn't have high expectations for. I was only concerned about the Rumble matches, especially for the men's, because of how stacked it was. I already knew what was going to happen with the women's, since we all knew Charlotte was going to be in the match. Charlotte was going to win. We knew that. That's fine. Whatever. But the matches itself, outside of the Rumble, I did not care for that much. And I'm glad that I didn't, because this match, I'm glad I didn't have high hopes for it, because it shocked me on how great it was. KO and Cody's chemistry is off the chain, bro. Like, you would think that these guys have been wrestling for like decades against each other. And I think it comes from, they probably spend a lot of time together, and they have the bond already with the Elite, because Kevin Owens is great friends with the Young Bucks, and so is Cody. So I feel like they bonded over that, and then chemistry came over time as they worked on this story. But this match excelled. I loved every ladder spot. Um, everything everything felt important. Like even the little things mattered, and I'm glad that it wasn't like climb, stop, let me breathe. When they had a chance to go up to that ladder, they went. The only thing is neither one wanted to lose. So as soon as KO saw Cody on that ladder, or vice versa, they got up, grabbed that foot, either put him down or the guy on the ladder fought him off. But either way, it was a great back and forth. Great back and forth. To me, this was WWE's match of the year so far. I mean, it was the 1st of February. But it's been a lot of, like, because to me, before that was Roman and Solo as the best match of WWE so far. But this one took the cake. That's going to be hard to beat. I don't know what they're going to do at Mania. With Cody or KO, but or any matches for Mania, but right now that's the comp. That is the competition. You want to put on a great banger, and you want to have the best match. That's your competition. My only problem, which is a huge problem, although a lot of people I've spoken to, they were like, "Oh, it kind of makes sense. It's just developing a story." I don't care. I like Cody, but this was Kevin Owens' night. Cody could have won the title back at Elimination Chamber. But when Sami Zayn came out, and he's checking on KO, and he's checking on Cody too when Cody was down. But Sami is out there. That was the perfect time to turn Sami Zayn heel, have him attack Cody Rhodes, and help KO win the damn title. But no. After the Alabama Slam through the ladder, Cody, KO's out. KO's done. He's out. He's not getting back up. Sami and the agents and the medical staff, they're all checking on Kevin Owens. Nick Aldis is out there. Cody goes climbing. He's climbing. Sami is literally looking on. Sami, if you don't take your ass in that ring and knock him the fuck out. You take him, you pull him down, you hit him with a chair or something. Hell, if KO is down, you climb up there yourself. We've seen it with James Ellsworth and a few others that's done it. That was my only issue. This was supposed to be KO's night. KO been putting in the work, and I know he's at a point in career where wins and losses don't matter to him, but as the fan looking in, bro, that was KO's night, man. Now it's on to the Men's Royal Rumble. The Men's Royal fucking Rumble. Now I will say this. Some of the order, I think that's something that really doesn't get talked about in terms of when people discuss rumbles and do reviews. I don't think people really discuss the entry order. Now for the women's, the entry order didn't really stand out to me. But in the men's, let's break it down a little. Okay, so at number 1 was Rey Mysterio. At number 2, a guy he's very familiar with in Penta. And I was like, whoo! I was as soon as Penta's music hit, I said, oh, I see what WWE doing. They trying to get us hyped for this Rumble, but it was a catfish. Okay, number 3, which unless I missed something, right? So number 3 was Chad Gable. Now this is great storytelling because of the whole Chad Gable can't beat luchadors thing, but I don't see. Or I can't think of anything story based that happened with Gable in that match. It could have happened, but I might have missed it. There was drinking games being partaked in this, so I probably was a little drunk. But from what I remember seeing those 3 in the ring, I don't think anything big happened. But also, I feel like with this story, Chad Gable should have got eliminated by Rey Mysterio or Penta. He should have got eliminated by one of those guys because he can't be luchador. So getting eliminated by a luchador would be huge. Number 4 was Carmelo Hayes. First day of Black History Month, and Carmelo Hayes is the only black man in this Royal Rumble. And then he was also the first man eliminated. First man eliminated, but whatever. First day of Black History Month. The women's Royal Rumble, the black women did great in there. I mean, it's not making the race thing. It's just that. Come on, man. All those guys you got in the back, Omos. Like, what are we doing? Apollo. Like, the thing is, this the Royal Rumble. You could let randoms just come in the match and just get their stuff off. We want. Oh, you know what, Gordy, bro. What is the point of this whole Wyatt? Okay, so I know it was like a while when they first came in. A lot of people were saying like WWE is using the Wyatt Six to just make money off of Bray. Now I was one of those ones that was like, I don't believe that. Like, Bray meant a lot to the Wyatts, to Bo and Eric Rowan, and he meant a lot to WWE, the company. So, like, I was like, no. But at this point, I'm starting to think that they're really just using them to get a paycheck, because you're going to sell a lot of merch with the Wyatt Six, especially the way that the creative looks with some of their stuff. You could sell the mask, shirts, accessories. You can make money off of this, but they haven't been on TV. They have not been on TV at all. So the Wyatt Six not being a part of PLEs, I can't even name a PLE that they were a part of, and like, that just blows my mind. But after Carmelo Hayes, number 5 was Santo Escobar. Didn't really make a splash in there. Otis was number 6. I think he got like a nice little pop. Number 7, who I thought was going to be the Iron Survivor of the Rumble, Braun Breaker. Now, Braun Breaker did have an impressive outing, though. I will say that. Braun did do great in that match. And then at number 8 was Akira Tozawa, but he was taken out by Carmelo Hayes after Carmelo was eliminated. And then Triple H is in the back, like, out of all people, right? Out of all people, I get it. I get kayfabes and shit, but like, my nigga, you got Omos back there. You got Apollo, like I said. You got who else? You got who wasn't in the Rumble? JD's hurt. You got Carlito didn't make it in the Rumble. Like, all these guys in the back that didn't. R-Truth, like, come on, man. He goes to IShow Speed, and IShow Speed makes his WWE debut, and he enters the Rumble. And IShow Speed is eliminated, or he eliminates Otis. It was like him and Braun Breaker teamed up to eliminate Otis. But so then he's taunting, and Braun hit that boy with a Ray Lewis spear, a nice pure tackle, knocked that boy lights out. It was, I'm not too big for celebrities, especially like these new age celebrities and shit like Speed. I don't really care for them, but this was very impressive and entertaining. It wasn't nothing that I didn't dislike it at all. Number 9 was Sheamus. Sheamus comes in. He spent 15 minutes in there. I did like, so okay, when he came in, the only thing was that the Rumble was absolutely stacked besides Speed, Otis, and Andrade. I know it was stacked, and it still was disappointing, which is I did like when Sheamus came in, he did the bows of the berry. I feel like I fucked that up, but I said it perfectly yesterday on stream. But he did it to who he do it to? I forgot. I think it was Chad Gable. Maybe he did it to, and then he turned around and then did it to Braun. I feel like that was a great way to enter the Rumble. Number 10 was Jimmy Uso. Got a nice pop. Still Jimmy though. Number 11 was Andrade. I'll be forgetting that he's still on the roster. Number 12, man who killed it in a Rumble, Jacob Fatu. Jacob Fatu came in and was just tossing people left and right. He even eliminated Jimmy Uso, which I feel like one thing though that these Royal Rumbles, that this Royal Rumble this year particularly, I did not really see story until towards the end of this men's Royal Rumble. But the women's Royal Rumble, I didn't really see much story going on, especially since this is the start of the road to WrestleMania. But in the men's, you did not see much of a story because you got Jimmy and Jacob in there. There should have been a story told there. Maybe Six Lux, that could have been better. I know, right? And the thing is, okay, so I'm glad that you mentioned this too because, okay, you said Otis Andrade, Escobar, Carmelo Hayes, Speed, Ludwig could have been better picks. Ludwig, I'm kind of okay with because I feel like they at some point they got to start pushing him in the IC title picture. Mello makes sense in a way, but I mentioned this with the women's Royal Rumble that there was like 4 or 5, I think it was 5 women from NXT. Why wasn't nobody from NXT? Why wasn't Trick Williams in the Royal Rumble? Why wasn't the NXT World Champion Oba not in the Royal Rumble? Tony D'Angelo, Wes Lee. You could have put some of these NXT guys. I think this might have been the first Royal Rumble since the first time an NXT person made an appearance in the Rumble. I think this might have been the first time where no NXT guys made an appearance in the men's. And it's like, Trick is so close to being on the main roster. Why not put him in the Rumble? Why not put him in the Rumble and have him have a face-off with Carmelo Hayes? Like, that would make sense. That would make it make sense for Hayes to be in this match and not be a wasted spot. Ludwig coming in at 13. He got eliminated by Pentagon in 6 freaking seconds. 6 seconds. Should have been Orton. I forgot about Orton. But I don't know if Orton is cleared yet. And I don't know what story they're telling with Solo to where he can't make appearances. Like, I know he's taking that loss pretty hard. But, I mean, whatever. Trick, Uncle Howdy, Tony D. Right, all these names could have been it. If not Uncle Howdy, throw Ludwig back in. But, like, Ludwig being in the Rumble for 6 seconds, bro. 6 seconds. And it goes back to what I said, that him being in a Rumble makes sense because they should start pushing him to be in that IC title picture. But 6 seconds does nothing for you. The Miz comes out at number 14. And then number 15, the biggest pop of the men's Royal Rumble, TNA World Champion Joe Hendry. He wasn't the biggest pop. The person came out after him was the biggest pop. But I will say this. This may come to a shocker. I do not believe in Joe Hendry. I used to be a fan of Joe Hendry. But I'm not. He's not as great. The thing is, he's just like a Jay. He's just like a LA Knight. Now, LA Knight and even Jay Uso kind of stand out more differently than a Joe Hendry. Me more so, I think LA Knight sticks out more than the other two. But the bell rings. When the bell rings, then what? Like, this is pro wrestling, and it's like, all right, Gordy, you had me until you said Kane. Come on now, not Kane. We don't need one half of MAGA destruction out there. It's okay. We don't need him. But Joe Hendry, like, he's one of those guys, like, when the bell rings, what's next? Like, Jay stands out in his matches because Jay isn't as bad as a wrestler as people make. He has bad matches. Now, there's a difference between being a bad wrestler and having bad matches. You can be a good wrestler and have bad matches, but you can also be a bad wrestler and have good matches. I think Jey Uso is a decent wrestler, but his match quality is not good. Now, I mean, I can go on and try to break that down. We could do that have that as a segment on one of the upcoming episodes. But yeah, Joe Hendry doesn't do it for me. Yeah. Number 16, Roman Reigns. This was my pick to win the Royal Rumble other than Cena. I feel like okay, what about like Lexus King? See, I'm not a big Lexus King fan, but he's an NXT guy. Put NXT guys in the Rumble. Where the fuck was Kofi? I think after Kofi messed up his Kofi spot the 1 year at the Rumble, I think they're done doing Kofi spots. So him being in the Rumble is not needed because Kofi was only there for the spot, and he messed it up, and it was like, we don't need you no more, which is bullshit because him and Xavier Woods is like the hottest act right now. So Roman came out, causing havoc. That boy was working. People say he don't work. That boy was in there for 37 minutes. Roman was my pick, and it's funny that Roman was my pick because one of my biggest gripes, one thing that I've hated over the last couple years, is Roman and Cody not having a legitimate long feud. They never really had a feud that was set up from scratch. It was always Cody winning the Royal Rumble, so now he gets to face Roman. It was never Cody fighting his way, becoming number one contender, but they let Logan do his fight. I know, right? So I think now that they got a younger, more athletic guy, I think they're done with Kofi, so I don't think Kofi will be needed for his. I mean, he might make appearances later in the future at future Rumbles, but I don't think I think he retired that spot, or they forced him to retire that spot. But yeah, I think there's gonna be a Logan Paul thing now. Fuck Logan. Yeah, I'm like Cody and Roman never had like a legit feud that started from scratch. Cody just won the Rumble and was like, okay, I want Roman. No, I want to see a legit, actual one-on-one feud between the two. And also, I feel like things would have been 10 times better and different this year if Roman would have won and we would have got Cody and Roman 3 at Mania, because it would have been the first time that it was a one-on-one singles match, and we know that there would be no interference. The only way that I could see an interference is if Cody turns heel and you see like a Sammy or like Jay or somebody turn on Roman to help Cody win. But this, if that wasn't the case, this would have been the first time Roman and Cody faced each other with no interferences. Now I do want to see a Cody and Roman feud that doesn't involve a Road to Mania. Let them do something leading up to SummerSlam or beyond that. I'm tired of it. But number 17 was Drew McIntyre. He stayed in there for 26 minutes and 55 seconds. He did decent. The thing with this Rumble, though, like up until the major story that happened in the Men's Royal Rumble, nothing really stood out to me in this Rumble. It was just few people got their stuff off. And then that was that. 18 was Finn Balor with a new theme song. 19 was the United States champion Shinsuke Nakamura. Number 20 was Jey Uso. 21 was the return of AJ Styles, and he has his original They Don't Want None theme back. It was great seeing AJ Styles. That's one of my favorites. That's one of my GOATs. Number 22 was Braun Strowman. Now this, like you were saying earlier, Gordy, this is one of the picks, one of the entrants that really wasn't needed. Like, I get that they're trying to put Braun back into a major storyline now, but I don't care to see Braun on my TV in 2025. I didn't really care to see him in 2024, and I don't think I cared in 2023. I moved on from Braun Strowman years ago, but and it's probably not even his fault. I mean, WWE is one of those, and I've said this multiple times, and I will continue to say it a lot. They can make or break a person. They can make you think somebody is good. They can make you think somebody is bad. That at one point that they pushed Braun to be one of the greatest big men of all time, better than a Big Show, better than a Vader, and then after that it just made it seem they made it look like Braun wasn't that good. So I can't really tell you what is the real Braun. I just know I don't care for him. After Braun, 23 was John Cena. John Cena. Okay, so I want to say this. Um, the men's Royal Rumble seemed like it lasted way longer than the women's. And I say that because I'm at number 23 with John Cena. Now, unless this timing is wrong, it says John Cena competed in that match for 30 long minutes. Jey Uso, who was the winner, lasted 36 minutes. AJ Styles, who came in at 21 minutes. And then after John Cena, CM Punk comes out. CM Punk lasted 18 minutes at number 24. Now, if we go to the Women's Royal Rumble, number 20 was Michin. She lasted 16 minutes. Nobody from 20 and up reached 20 minutes. The longest was Stephanie Valkyrie with 19 minutes. Nobody reached 20 minutes in the Women's Royal Rumble from 20 and up. In the Men's Royal Rumble match, from 20 all the way to 30, there are 3 people who reached over 20. 2 of them were 30 minutes. The other one was, who was it? The other one was AJ Styles with 21 minutes. But the other time, CM Punk, 18 minutes. Seth Freakin' Rollins, who entered at 25, stayed in for 17 minutes and 14 seconds. Dominic, who got eliminated by Damian Priest because Priest owns Judgment Day and they will never get the one up on him ever. He's just going to squash them every time. He lasted only 4 minutes. Sami Zayn, who accidentally got eliminated by Jey Uso, lasted 5 minutes and 22 seconds. Damian Priest lasted 6 minutes. And at number 29, LA Knight lasted 5 minutes. And then at number 30 was Logan Paul with 11 minutes and 11 minutes and 19 seconds. Now, let's talk about the Drew spot. There were reports that Drew left the Rumble match before the match was over when he got eliminated because of he was angry. He was angry at a certain superstar. He said that they wanted to get their moves in, and it messed up his elimination spot. So I watched the video back, and apparently when Damian Priest was going to eliminate Drew, LA Knight and Logan were setting up to do a spot right then and there in the middle of the ring. So as Damian Priest is setting up his elimination for Drew, they bump. Drew bumps into it. I think he initially bumped into LA Knight, but I think it was a spot to set up a Logan move, something for Logan to do. So that kind of botched, and I didn't pay attention at first that Drew something, because to me it didn't really look like anything was wrong with Drew's elimination, but at the same time I don't think it was on camera when he got eliminated. Also, so the last 3 spots when Dom and Sammy came out, I said, okay, who else can come out? I forgot about Priest, and LA Knight did not come to mind, right? And throughout this whole Rumble, even though he had announced that he was going to be in there, I forgot about Logan Paul. So when Priest came out, LA Knight came out, I was like, no, when Priest came out, I said Rock is going to be number 30. Rock is going to come in here. He's going to eliminate all these. He's going to eliminate Roman. I said that's what he's going to do. He's going to eliminate Roman, and that was going to set up the feud. I'm going to get to the story after I talk about the winner. When LA Knight came out, I said, "Oh my gosh, I forgot about Logan Paul." And Logan Paul came out, and I was like, "This was supposed to be for The Rock," but I forgot that The Rock said, "Fuck your storylines, fuck your storytelling." Even though we spent a whole year making this one of the biggest stories in WWE history, I don't want to do this shit no more. So yeah, that happened, and then everybody was getting eliminated left and right until it was Cena and Jey Uso. Now I'm not gonna lie to you, Cena's in the final two, so I was hyped. And there was no way you could tell me that if you would have told me 5 years ago that Jey Uso and John Cena was in the final two, I would probably be like, oh, okay, that's cool. And John Cena eliminated him quickly, right? Nah. This was a back and forth that didn't need to be a back and forth. They did the spot on the outside of the apron like they always do with the final two. Usually they do it a lot with women. You don't really see it much with the men, but they did it this year. It was fighting on the apron. And then all I remember is Cena had the offense, and I was excited. I was like, yes, Cena. And then Jay I look over again, and then I'm like, no. And I was just speechless. Jay eliminated Cena, and then Cena comes in the ring and raises his hands. Listen, I don't care how over you are. Jay's not ready for this. He's not ready for this main event. And it's like, you would have thought that WWE would have took notes from New Japan, because they've been taking notes from New Japan for like the last 10 years. Why do you think we got 2 night WrestleManias? But when they had Shota putting up a stinker with Zack Sabre Jr., you would think that WWE is like, okay, maybe the guys that the most over who hasn't really shown that they can go, maybe let's not give them that spot. And then, people are like, oh, Jay's the most over. He deserves it. He did this. He did that. He's the most over guy. Like, he's the fan favorite. He sells so much in merchandise. That's fine. He faced Gunther like 3 or 4 times and lost every single time. Jey Uso faced Gunther multiple times for the world title and lost. I think he faced him for the IC title as well and lost. This is we can't make it make sense on why we would give him another title shot. So let's make him win the Royal Rumble so it can make sense of why he faces Gunther for 100th time. And this time he's probably going to win it. You got Roman in that match. You got Seth Rollins in that match. You got Drew McIntyre in that match. You got CM Punk in that match. And you have John fucking Cena in that match. You pick Jey Uso. Jey Uso, you're going to give Jey Uso a world title match at WrestleMania, when last WrestleMania he faced his twin brother and put on one of the worst matches in WrestleMania history. This is what we're doing. This is the booking decisions that we're making. But I am so glad that they did something interesting with that Royal Rumble with Seth Rollins, Roman Reigns, and CM Punk. Now, at first, I was hyped. I didn't really think nothing of it. I'm like, oh yeah, Seth, get him, whoop him, duh. Mind you, I acknowledge my tribal chief. I acknowledge my tribal chief. I say that. Roman is the tribal chief. Roman is him. Sorry for this squeaky chair. This old thing is. I need to get a new chair. But Roman is my tribal chief. Roman is him. Roman is the guy. Roman is the face of WWE. But Seth is 101. Seth Rollins is 101. And he showed that last night. And Seth was like, y'all ain't never really seen a crash out. I'm a crash out. That's what he did. He was like, all the things you seen me do before, you know, I did some heel stuff. I think this stood out to me more because all of them guys eliminated. None of them going to Mania. Seth was like, you know, we've seen brawls happen after guys get eliminated. We've seen guys get attacked after elimination. That's fine. But Seth looked at that and he was like, fuck, I ain't going to Mania, man. Fuck you and fuck you. Nigga, he saw Roman was distracted with Punk. Roman was like, bruh, why you betray me like that? And Seth came in and gave that boy a curve stomp and instantly went after Punk. I said, yeah, that boy is playing for keeps. He is showing I am better than you and I am better than you. Roman my tribal chief, but I've always said Seth is the better man. Seth is the better man. Seth is a better in-ring competitor. He's a better promo. He's a better character. He is everything. His match catalog. Come on, man. Come on, man. Quit playing with Seth freaking Rollins. Quit playing with Seth freaking Rollins, man. All right. Man, that story was set up and it's looking like it's going to be a triple threat for Mania. I guess this is how Punk gets his main event. Hopefully he doesn't get that. Hopefully that this isn't the route that they take. But anything Seth and Roman. Okay, so I said this earlier where Seth and Roman is really the Shawn and Triple H of this generation, where during the height of their rivalry, and even when Shawn first left WWE in '98 and Triple H took over, we kind of wanted to see Triple H and Shawn one-on-one. Now, we did get those one-on-ones multiple times, but we never got it at Mania. We never got that one-on-one at WrestleMania. And I feel like this is going to be the dynamic between Seth and Roman, because you had this right there on the platter for Roman and Seth at Mania right there. But just to make Phil Brooks happy so he could get this main event, you put him in this triangle for no reason. This story is way bigger than CM Punk. This story is bigger than a WrestleMania moment that Punk has been yearning for decades. This is bigger than anything that CM Punk has ever thought about doing in his WWE career. Seth and Roman is the big money match. I'm taking this match. I will take this match over Rock and Roman all day, every day. Because I know that this match has the potential to be one of the greatest matches of all time. So with that, I guess you could add Punk. But this is just like WrestleMania 20. We didn't get Shawn and Triple H one-on-one. You gotta add Benoit. We can't get Seth and Roman one-on-one at Mania. You gotta add CM Punk. Tragic. Overall, though, what I will rate the Royal Rumble, I will do one by one, and then I will do total. The Women's Royal Rumble, I'm giving it a C minus. The tag team match, I'm giving it a D. The Roman and KO match, the Cody and KO match, I'm giving it an A plus. And then the Men's Royal Rumble, I'll give it a C plus. Overall, I would give this show a C. And the only reason why it's getting a C is because of the Cody and KO match saved it with that A+. Best match of the year in WWE so far. So that's my review on the 2025 Royal Rumble. I do want to talk about. I did watch Collision like hours after the Rumble, cause I just remembered that it was Saturday. Um, Swerve cut a nice promo. Well, okay, I'll give Ricochet his props. He has been killing it in AEW since he's been there. I still don't care for his wrestling. He's not my type of guy, but when it comes to his character work, I can dig it. And he cut a good promo on Swerve before Swerve came out there, and he said something along the lines of like, "You've always been this superhero, and I've done things, and I'm the real villain, and all this other stuff." And like they were just Ricochet cut a promo on Swerve that hit, and then Swerve came out and hit a promo on Ricochet that hit, and I feel like this dynamic is great. I hope it don't lead to Swerve cutting his hair though. I feel like this scissors has a motive in this. But what else happened on that Collision? Tony Storm with a Tony Storm promo. There's not much to say about Tony Storm. She's the best in the business so far. As of today, she is the current best. The Learning Tree got a win over the Outrunners, whatever. There was something in here that I really wanted to talk about, and I'm mad I didn't take the notes for this because I watched it like 3 or 4 o'clock in the morning. The triple threat match. Okay, the triple threat match. I will take everything that happened at that Royal. I will take that tag team match. I'll take the men's and women's Royal Rumble. Besides the story that was told between the 3, Roman, Seth, and Punk, I would say I would take those 3, take those out, and the perfect event of like what I would watch that Saturday. Like if I had to pick everything that was happening, if I knew everything that was gonna happen, I'm picking the KO Cody match, and I'm picking the 6-man match between. The triple threat match between Daniel Garcia, Lee Moriarty, and Kyle O'Reilly. Those boys cooked. That was a great match. It wasn't like a top tier match, but it did what it needed to do. And it's still setting up my boy, Cleveland native, Cleveland legend, Shane Taylor, to eventually take that title. You heard me? Shane Taylor is bringing that TNT title back to Cleveland, and he gonna take that title. Now, when it's gonna happen? Revolution, Grand Slam, either way. Shane, I like Danny, Yeah, I like Danny, but Shane coming to take that title, man. He coming to take that title. But that's setting that up, and I'm really liking the shine that he's getting, Shane Taylor. Another key thing that I want to talk about before we wrap things up on this is the presentation between LIF. And that is the group of Beast Mortos, Realistico, and Roosh. Beast Mortos had a squash match with Adam Priest. Shout out to DPW. It was a squash match. And then Roosh. Oh, no. Max Caster comes out and he's like, best wrestler alive challenge. He made it clear he didn't want to face Beast Mortos because he knew he was going to get his ass beat. But he did not know that Roosh was making his return and he got that ass whooped. Now, I say this presentation of Roosh when he came out looked like a Spanish god. That man looked like a god. From the attire, the mask, first of all, he always been fit, but it was just like one of those, we ain't seen you in a while, like he ready, he in ring ready, in ring shape. He beat that boy Max something bad. But and then he cut a promo. Now this might be a hot take. This some might not like what I gotta say. But and I'm a big fan of the person that I'm about to mention. But seeing how WWE has booked Penta so far, and seeing even in previous times of Roosh being booked on an AEW or Collision or whatever, now get it, there's people are like, oh, but he hasn't get booked for so long. There was time where he took time off for family reasons. I think he was injured one time, and then recently he got into. It was his problem. He got into an altercation, basically going off script of why he wasn't on TV. So it wasn't like Tony Khan is like, oh, let me not book this guy. He's just there's reasons why he's not competing, but I'm gonna say this: the way that Penta's getting booked so far in WWE, and the way that Roosh is being presented so far, Andrade is the problem. Andrade is the problem. He is. Because you can't tell me that Penta can cut promos. Now, mind you, he was cutting promos in AEW. But the promos in WWE, people are paying attention to it more. Because everybody was giving the mic on AEW, like, just to say a few things. But people are paying attention to what Penta got to say. They're caring about what this man is doing. And he's just having matches. No real story added to it yet. He's just having matches. And then you have Roosh make his return. And it felt godlike. He came out and I said, ooh, that boy looking nice. Pause, but, presentation is everything. Presentation is key. Now, does Andrade have the presentation package? Yes, because he has the attire, he has the look. The only issue is it just doesn't fit the WWE or the AEW system. And I don't know why in particularly he can't fit this system, but he's the problem. Now, Andrade is a great wrestler. And I think his character work is never an issue, because if you look at what he's doing with the character, like if you pay attention to what he's aiming for, it's understandable and you're like, okay, this isn't bad. But he just does not fit this system. And he's the problem. Because Roosh looked nice on Saturday. And to end it off, and the thing is, the crowd was behind him. Because as soon as he said, you mess with the bull, yo, get the whore. He ain't even had to say it. And then he did it again. You mess with the bull, you get the whore. You get the whore. I was like, Tony Khan, you see this. You have to. You have to. So, that was that. Anything else from Collision? The Death Riders. Okay, I didn't care for the tag match between the Death Riders, Moxley and Yuta versus FTR. It wasn't bad though, that's the thing. It was actually a good match, I just didn't care for it. I just didn't care for the match. Now, there were a few other matches. Megan Bayne made her debut. Nice, impressive. Let's see where that goes. Harley Cameron is still trying to get a TBS title shot with Mercedes Moné. There are matches that I'm forgetting, but it wasn't that big of a deal. I mean, there is actually a good match that I can't think of. What's up, Yukio? Actually, no. Fucking shit. Fuck it. I really don't care. If I had to pick between watching Royal Rumble or Collision, I'm picking Royal Rumble. Especially knowing what happened, that Cody and KO match, top tier. Shit was top tier. The men's Royal Rumble, mid at best. The women's Royal Rumble, decent, whatever. The tag match, I could care less for. The only thing I cared about for Collision was the triple threat between Daniel Garcia, Lee Moriarty, and Kyle O'Reilly, and then the return of Roosh. I'm telling you, I'm big on Roosh. If you can tell, if you can't tell, I'm a big Roosh fan. That boy came back, and I was like, if you haven't seen it, well, just watch his entrance. You ain't got the crowd for the Rumble. The thing is, I don't blame them. I don't blame them for being so bad because the Rumble itself was bad. The thing is, leading up to the Cody and KO match, they did not. They probably expected that match to be ass too because the tag match was ass, and the women's Royal Rumble was decent at best. It was decent at best. And then you go to the men's, you ended with the men's, and the men's match was not that good either. So I don't blame the crowd. I kind of hate it because they witnessed a great top tier ladder match. But like, okay, so for the women's Royal Rumble though, I'll ask you this, Yukio. For the women's Royal Rumble, other than Alexa Bliss and maybe Nikki Bella, what was there to cheer for? They need to go back to Cleveland. Hell yeah, nigga, we was lit all SummerSlam. But all the matches was good though. But at the same time, we had that energy from the beginning to the end. But that's just Cleveland, nigga. When I went to AEW a couple months ago in October, from beginning to end, energy. I went to an NXT show, a live event like years ago, front to back. Oh, Trish did get a pop too. But that's the thing. Like, none of the NXT women got a pop. Because it was like, we just didn't care. And also, I said it earlier, like, the order placement. I feel like sometimes the order placement matter. And the order placement for the women's match did not matter. It was just like, we just gonna throw you out there. None of the orders made sense. Like, there was nothing to be excited for. In the tag match, it was bad, but it wasn't like I would never watch this. Let me turn this shit off. Bruh, Trish, I called it though. I thought that they was gonna do Lita. Do not put Lita out there, bro. We done with Lita, bro. Thank you, Trish. They need to bring that back. Trish had that, and she can still go. That's what I said when they brought in the mid-card titles, they should have put the title on her because she never really got to go. When she was a full active member of the WWE roster, she did not have a stacked women division like how it is now. They don't have that. She did not have that. She had Victoria Hookah Hoop. They had Jazz Hookah Hoop, and then you just got a extreme version of Charlotte Flair and Lita. That's all she had. And she can still go. But, whatever. If we go back to this men's Rumble, Jay winning was the dumbest shit ever when you got a John Cena right there. And it's really dumb because people are not looking at the bigger picture. It's not that we are mad that Jay won and people were saying like, Jay is over. So Jay deserves this win. Jay don't deserve the win if you look at it from a statistical point because he didn't face Gunther multiple times and lost. How many times are we going to keep... And that's my problem with Gunther because every storyline he has is the same where everybody keeps getting chances to face him. Why does everybody have to keep getting chances after chances after chances? He's faced Damian Priest multiple times. He faced... Chad Gable multiple times. And it's like, why does he faced Sheamus multiple times and Drew multiple times? That's Gunther's story. Everybody just keeps trying to beat him. And it's like, stop giving these dudes chances. You should have saw my reaction when I saw LA Knight at 20. Listen, when LA Knight came out, I instantly remembered because the whole Rumble, I forgot about Logan Paul. But because I said Rock was going to be number 30. So when LA Knight came out, my brain instantly went to fucking Logan Paul's number 30 and Rock's not coming. Rock's not making an appearance. That, bro, I was so pissed, bro. Like, bro, I don't care. Like, guys like Jey Uso and LA Knight, as long as they have that catchphrase, they're going to be over. Like, the thing is, like, yes, Jay is over. Yes, LA Knight is over. But can you tell me one person with a catchphrase that wasn't over? Zack Ryder had woo woo woo. Oh yeah, I don't think Randy healthy yet, or they saving it for some. I thought they was gonna save it for KO and Cody, but it looked like KO and Cody over with. So I don't, I don't know what they gonna do with Randy, unless he just straight up go after KO and it's just them two, nothing to do with Cody. But I don't really think, but I don't know about Randy. But the Jay winning though, that makes logically no sense if he proven multiple times that he can't. Like, the thing is, people are like, oh, he had a good match with Gunther. Nigga, it's Gunther. It's Gunther, bro. And the thing is, the match was good, but it was still one of Gunther's worst matches. Like, how? Andrade said he takes 2 days to heal. He was like, bro, they not giving me a title in WWE, but I know I could win the pillow fighting championship at home. That's what my nigga doing. He said I could win the title at home. Hey, bro. But that was my thing though. If Randy, that was another person. Cause I was thinking of all the guys that could have been in this Royal Rumble match. Right? Nobody from NXT was in this match. You could have had Omos, who y'all just flew back from Japan, who I don't get what's the point of having him leave if you're not gonna have him involved in anything. But you got Omos that you could have had. You had Apollo. You had Vinci. You had all these guys who would have made a difference because them eliminations would have meant more. Like they could have had one of those ones where, because Apollo is a great seller. So if you would have had Apollo take this big ass bump with elimination, that'll bring life to the Royal Rumble. They didn't have nobody to bring life with these eliminations. Thought Nick Nemeth was coming. I thought. See, the thing is, I didn't think about Joe Hendry. I don't know why I didn't think about Joe Hendry. When it came to the TNA guys, I thought it was gonna be Jeff, because leading up to the Rumble and leading up to like the last TNA pay-per-view, the Hardys, especially Jeff, kept hyping up, oh, they gonna be back in WWE. They gonna make another appearance in WWE. They gonna do this. So I instantly thought Jeff was gonna be in the Royal Rumble match, but I was fucking wrong. So I also thought Moose, because they kept pushing for Moose to enter the Rumble like last year and the year before that. I'm glad he wasn't fucking in it. There was like so many people that should have been in a Royal Rumble match that would have made a difference. Like, imagine a Vinci elimination off of just a crazy bump that he take. Nobody took a real crazy bump. Show Speed took the worst bump of the Rumble. He took the most dangerous bump of the Rumble and then put him up with Braun Breaker. Hey, bro, come on, man. And he went through a table. Come on, man. Like, bro, putting Apollo in there and Trick. You could have had something with Trick and Carmelo. This Royal Rumble pissed me off. Like I said, you know what? Matter of fact, not the thing is, the only reason why I'm giving the men's Royal Rumble, bro. Listen, Yu-Gi-Oh. The only reason why I'm giving the men's Royal Rumble a C is because of the Seth, Punk, and Roman shit. Seth saved that Rumble, because if that wouldn't have never happened, I ain't gonna lie, the Rumble probably would have been like an F plus or some shit, or like a D. Like Seth and Roman and Punk and them, They saved that Rumble, bro. And the thing is, it happened after they got eliminated. That was the only story being told in that whole Royal Rumble, and it happened after the elimination. Like, both of these Royal Rumble matches yesterday was poorly booked. No. And the thing is, I know I was, but I talked to a lot of people that was super excited for this big stacked Royal Rumble. This was probably the most stacked Royal Rumble we've seen since the Attitude Era, where you had Rock, Austin, Kurt, Triple H, all these guys in the Royal Rumble. One of them was probably left out because one of them was champion at the time, probably Stone Cold or The Rock. But you got those guys in it. Jacobs. That's what I'm saying, bro. Nobody, listen, the men's or the women, nobody had a real dominant showing. Especially the Iron Survivors, none of them had like a real strong showing. And if you did, it was only for one big spot where you just eliminate like 2 or 3 people at one time or like back to back. Other than that, nobody had a strong showing. This was a poorly booked Royal Rumble. From top to bottom, if you take the world title match out. If you take the world title match out, this is the worst Royal Rumble event ever. I promise you. If it was just the two men and women, the men and women, and the tag match, this is the worst Royal Rumble of all time. Luckily, that world title match saved that damn show. Because that, I wouldn't go back to watch the whole Royal Rumble, but I'm putting the Royal Rumble on and skipping to the Cody. So then that gives that Royal Rumble views. Bro, yes, ever, my nigga. That shit was ass. It was poorly put together. 2020, who won 2022? Cody won it last year. He won it the year before that. And then who won it before Cody? Who won it before Cody? What was this? Who won the fucking Royal Rumble that year? Who won the women's that year? Oh, that's that Royal Rumble. Okay, yeah. But it's up there. Listen, this Royal Rumble is up there, bro. If you take that Cody match out, this Royal Rumble is up there with one of the worst Royal Rumbles of all time, bro. And bro, I'm so disappointed. And it's like, you know, you got the Ronda and Brock, of course. I think I remember this vividly now. You know, you got the dudes on Twitter and was like, oh, I should have watched Collision over Royal Rumble. And it was like, neither show really stood out. But at the same time, Collision is just a weekly show. But at the same time, Tony Khan should know better because he competing with a PLE. So nigga, you supposed to pull out all the stops. Nigga, you only had one good match on the show. You only had one good match, and that was the fucking triple threat match. The thing is, though, I'll give Collision, it was very story based. You had the Swerve and Ricochet. You had the Tony Storm cutting a promo, Harley Cameron and Mercedes Moné, and then Roosh, the Roosh shit. But like, other than that, bro, like Tony Khan, if you know, and the thing is, Dynamite is coming to Tuesday, either next week or the week after that. And this is the show that you're putting up with a PLE, nigga. You know they finna bring fucking Stone Cold, Shawn Michaels having a match, nigga. NXT about to be stacked that Tuesday. NXT about to be super stacked, and you put this week. It wasn't even a week show. Like, this Collision was cool. This was just a normal Collision though. Like, it wasn't bad. It was just a normal Collision, my nigga. Like, but you're going up against a PLE, and the best match you had was for the mid-card title. You got the world champion, and the match was good. Like I said, the tag match, the main event was good. I just didn't care for it. You didn't make niggas care for the main event, my nigga. Like, bro, like, I watched Collision at like 3 or 4 o'clock in the morning because I couldn't sleep. And it wasn't a bad show. It really wasn't a bad show. It's just I didn't care for the mock shit. I didn't care for the learning tree shit. I care for the learning tree shit when Powerhouse Hobbs come back. Give me Hobbs and Big Bill in a good match, and then we'll call it even. But I'm not picking. The thing is, if okay, I'll say this: I'm not watching Rumble over Collision. But nigga, if I watch both the same day, and a nigga asks me the next day which one do I want to rewatch, but I gotta no okay, so I gotta watch it from front to back. I can't skip, so I can't skip to the Cody match. I'm watching Collision. I can't sit through that women's Royal Rumble. I can't sit through that tag match. I'll probably put on Collision. I'm not. And I can't even remember the first like 2 or 3 matches. It was like 7 matches on Collision. I don't. It was like 7 fucking. Oh, Hook and fucking Samoa Joe had a match. They had a tag match. I remember. Okay, yeah. It was like a lot of fucking matches on that bitch. But I would rather replay that than sit through that fucking women's Royal Rumble, watch the tag match, be excited for the Cody and KO match, and then get disappointed and drowsy for the men's. Like, bro, Triple H cannot put together Royal Rumbles, bro. I don't know if he got help. He doing it by himself. Either way, he need a new team or something, bro. The way he put this shit together was not it. It's not. But shit, man, I done yapped enough. Like I said, the overall pay-per-view for the Royal Rumble, the overall grade, I'm giving it a C. I think I said C plus, or I'm gonna just stick with a C. If I did say C plus, it's getting pushed down to a C. Like the thing is though, the men and women were. It wasn't like the worst Royal Rumble match. It was put together horribly. I didn't. Nobody cared that Charlotte won. We knew she was gonna win, but nobody gave a fuck. Nobody cares. Nobody's like, oh my God, Charlotte's champ. Nobody gives a fuck because if she didn't win that, she's winning Elimination Chamber. And Jay winning, why the fuck is he winning when he done lost to Gunther already? You can't convince me that he can beat Gunther because we've seen this same story with Gunther before. With Chad Gable, with Damian Priest, with Sheamus, with Drew McIntyre. I'm done with it. I'm going to end this by saying, so I didn't do it for episode 2, and I didn't do it for episode 3. But this episode I'm going to do it for. The MVP of Saturday is Seth freaking Rollins. Oh, you know what? No. I'm going to get an MVP to Cody and KO. Cody and KO. And then this will be the first ever What the Fuck award. And that's going to go to Sami Zayn. Because what the fuck? You should have helped KO win that title. So the MVP goes to goes to KO and Cody. And the what the fuck of the day or the week is Sami Zayn. And I will see y'all. I don't know if I'm a live stream next weekend. If I do live stream, I'm gonna go live Saturday. Maybe depending. I might do Sunday. But if not, I will let y'all know. I'll tag y'all and everything in the Discord. After this, I will put my Discord in the bio, in the description. I keep forgetting to put the damn Discord server in the goddamn description. But see y'all next week. Hopefully next week of wrestling will